Okay, we're doing one after hours today. Today had a busy and eventful long weekend, so I want to make sure we're at least staying consistent with the YouTube videos. If you're watching this on YouTube or seeing this anywhere else, my name is Alex. I run an AI agency in Toronto. We specialize in automations, voice receptionists. As well, we're getting a lot of our clients just saying, "Hey, Alex, can you make us some money, please, with all that AI technology you have?" So we have AI-driven SEO services that are built to drive traffic as well as rank you higher on Google, drive conversions, but also our customers are getting leads on ChatGPT as well as, of course, our agency. So we're super happy about that. Video today, I want to talk about voice AI integration with a specific system meant for vets, Shepherd Veterinary Software. And I have the full article here on our blog. I'm like literally, in addition to our SEO team doing everything they can possibly do to build our visibility for things like AI agency and SEO services in Canada. We're going to be doing a lot more visibility for the states as well. I am on a personal mission to do a lot of content pieces specific to those systems that we know our ideal customer profiles are using, as well as looking at integrating AI voice systems into. So, really happy that we had a veterinary clinic owner find us on Google because we have been putting together a few pieces for vets, AI for vets a few months ago. And you can see, like, and it's so funny. Everything always goes back to visibility, SEO, ChatGPT conversations, but essentially, we're starting to find and notice that if we quite literally make content specific to our ideal customer profile, even the systems they're using and the goals that they're trying to achieve, ChatGPT really loves that and starts to put us in front of them. So I want to talk about how to integrate a voice AI receptionist with Shepherd veterinary software for veterinary clinics, animal hospitals, pet groomers, mobile vets. Essentially, if you're using this technology, you have an opportunity to integrate your Shepherd account into a voice AI agent that can answer the phone. So this content is really built for owners. You don't have to be technically savvy, understand APIs. Really, I'm quite literally building this content for visibility, so that if you're seeing this and you're an owner who's using a Shepherd Vet software, and you're seeing this guy on YouTube saying, "Hey, you can integrate AI receptionist into this." Great, that's the that is the full breadth of what I wanted to see in terms of the effort I put into building this. But if you found this YouTube video, you might not have a clinic, or you may have a clinic but it's not for vets, and you're thinking to yourself, "Hey, we want to integrate our EMR EHS into the voice AI technology that's available today." We can definitely do that for you too. So this is a non-technical roadmap. It shows Shepherd users how to integrate a voice AI receptionist to capture bookings, answer after-hours calls, handle multiple callers simultaneously with no hold times, and reduce no-shows, plus what to prepare and expect the results. You can book a free 20-minute discovery call with us to see if your current circumstances align with getting an AI voice receptionist. If you're not getting a lot of calls, and your clinic, or your local service business where you have the locality that you're serving, if you're not getting a lot of phone calls, AI voice agents probably not for you right now. We can tell immediately in a meeting whether or not someone's ready for it. And there's a few telltale signs. You guys are missing a lot of calls after hours. You probably need a voice agent just to at least catch some loose balls. If you're putting people on hold during the day, this is your business is screaming for a voice agent, because we are finding that the clinic shortlisting process, it applies as much to pets as it does to human beings. The first clinic to answer the phone and have a meaningful conversation with us is generally the one we're going to go with. That patient journey mapping is very similar between sick humans and humans who have sick pets in their family. So What it means to integrate a voice AI receptionist with Shepherd. When you integrate a voice AI receptionist with Shepherd, incoming calls, including after hours, are answered instantly by the AI, which checks real time availability in your Shepherd calendar, confirms appropriate slot with the caller, and writes a new appointment back into Shepherd. The system can also trigger SMS email confirmations and reminders so clients get automatic updates without extra staff work. So that extra little bit, your Shepherd system likely doesn't have so much in the ways of email automations and SMS workflows that can be customizable. You might have got that far with some other integrations, but we provide the CRMs that do that for you. And what we're really looking for is the ability for the AI voice agent to look into the calendar, find a free slot for a consultation, present those times to the pet owner, and then have them book that slot on the call and have it go directly back into the Shepherd system. So this essentially takes the onus off of the veterinary clinic to have to figure out, how to answer all these calls, as well as take care of the people in the clinic, as well as make sure these animals aren't biting each other. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes on in a veterinary clinic that doesn't really happen inside of a human clinic. And a lot of the times that might take professionals away from being answered the phone 24/7, or I would even say 24/7, just because the vets we speak to, like, they get more emergency calls, I would say, or at least people thinking that they're emergency calls than anything else, because their pet's sick. Immediately, it's an emergency. So we want to have the AI sort of try and figure out, is this an emergency? Can you wait till come in tomorrow? Or yes, we want to call the emergency line, or have the AI route that call to the emergency line ASAP if it determines that this is in fact an emergency. Rescheduling, cancellations, we bake that stuff into the agent's workflow, reminders and follow-ups. That's in addition to agent conversations. You have some touch points and email and text words afterwards. How integrating a voice AI agent with Shepherd drives revenue and saves staff time. Again, after hours capture and triage. The ability to capture calls after hours means you're capturing revenue outside of regular business 9 to 5. So for our team, we call these loose balls. Catching loose balls is basically capturing revenue that you might not have had, had you had someone answering the phone or not answering the phone at that very moment. It's going to determine your revenue. We've even had doctors tell us that they go in on their days off to make sure that they can answer the phone. To me, that's like screaming, oh my gosh, just get a voice agent to just take messages after hours. Doesn't even need to be a complicated EMR integration, although we advise it. Starting with a modular agent that can just answer after hours calls is super important, because you're literally capturing revenue you wouldn't have caught if you didn't have something there. Answering multiple calls at once, super effective for vets. Again, vets, finding you guys put a lot more people on hold than the other clinics, or at least that's what we perceive. I guess when people are sick, they don't usually stay on hold so long. They just hang up the phone and call the next clinic. Whoever's answering the phone first is going to get be their caretaker, so to speak. But for veterinarians, because there's fewer of you than human clinics, people are having to wait on hold because there's not that many vets in the area to speak to. I mean, if you're a vet in a large city or a busy town, like maybe there's more than one veterinary office. Whoever catches the call first is going to get the business. But generally, in small towns, you got one veterinarian. Not being able to answer every call, it just says something about service, but also just about the efficiency and you having to call people back, see what it was about. Having a voice AI agent answer those calls, write your call reports. You can even get transcripts, call summaries, all that stuff makes it really easy. Staff hours reclaimed, fewer no-shows. So yeah, definitely those confirmation touch points after a booking is created definitely helps with the no-shows. Will integrating with Shepherd work for your current setup? What connects? This is more, if you're a business owner, these are things that you're going to have to look at when you're doing an integration. Basically, having your sandbox environment for Shepherd, put together, or at least your account. If you're looking at getting Shepherd and you want to see if a voice AI connects, having a sandbox test is really helpful. But if you're already using Shepherd, we can just play around with your current environment to see what kind of connections we can make and what sort of automations you're looking at. And of course, the Shepherd admin API access will need that from you, tokens of authorization, as well as how you're sort of structuring your data within your instance. This is a lot of technical stuff you're probably not going to care about. It's probably why you're looking at hiring an agency, but still want to make it known. You got to have a little bit of just consciousness of what's going on with connecting the APIs or the application programming interface of your Shepherd Vet instance. Services and operating hours, really easy. You give us that. When are you working? When are you not? When are your emergency lines? When do they go live? Who's on call? When? And we can have the agent act as an IVR system, route calls, no problem. So that sort of stuff, not so concerning. I would say understanding the best booking flow for any vet was probably the priority, and then any sort of post booking follow ups or maybe cancellation follow ups to shore up those show rates would definitely help with revenue. Staff and roster roles, of course, teaching the agent or training it on what you need or what you need for people to know about your business, or the type of staff that's working there, their roles, so on and so forth. Test phone number for validation. We literally have like infinite phone numbers. Just so long as you have a phone number to call the agent and test it out, we'll provide you with dedicated numbers. So it's pretty straightforward for Shepherd users looking at doing an integration. You do have the capability of integrating voice AI agents into your system. So congrats. I would say that if are sourcing where your appointments are coming from, if you have custom fields or stuff like that, dashboard, you'll see this was a voice AI capture or after hours capture, something like that. Checklist for business owners, have admin, API access, operating hours, services, description of your business. When it comes to deposit rules and taking payment over the phone, we highly discourage that using voice AI, just because that level of adoption, I personally believe will get there eventually. But we do want to have tiptoe implementations or toes in the water implementations where you're not necessarily going all in, getting payments, through the phone. I mean, relinquishing credit card information on the phone is highly discouraged from our team. Sending a payment link, though, confirmed by the voice agent, so the voice agent can send a payment link where you can go through that process formally through the banks and have that deposit information on file. That's something that we would definitely look at for you if you had return customers to your clinic. Who should integrate a voice AI system with Shepherd? What are some real business use cases? Small vets, animal hospitals, pet groomers, mobile vets. Basically, if you're a vet who's too busy to be answering the phone for whatever reason, or you just don't have the capacity to answer 24/7, AI voice agent is really, really helpful. So definitely, I would even say just start with a simple text chatbot, although they don't get as much engagement. Just having it there is supremely helpful, just in case. Like AIs it's really strong for optimization, but it's also a great tool for just in case scenarios where you just can't get someone on the line or communicate. Specialty clinics for animal specialty clinics. If you have a vet in your town, you're pretty lucky. Shelters, adoption clinics, boarding, daycare, multi-location groups. Pretty much, if you're running some sort of healthcare operation where you might have times of pretty much deficiency during your moments of peak demand because you're not able to capture all those calls, then that's when you want to employ a voice agent or voice AI. How the customer experience has changed. Again, customer or client or clinic shortlisting is an actual real phenomenon. Human beings will shortlist those clinics that are able to engage with them immediately. And those are generally the ones that are getting the business. So the experience is, hey, they're never going to be put on a call or hold. Their calls are going to be put on hold. They're not going to have to leave a voicemail. They're going to get engaging, welcoming a voice that understands the brand, understands services, can book them onto the calendar, literally do everything a receptionist can do, except it's all automated and it's all done through technology. So it's a very high accuracy rate because machines generally, they're thinking with 200, 300 IQ at a time. They're not having to process information like we do. Rescheduling, super easy. Cancellations, of course, like all this stuff can be worked into your agent's API connection. Step by step, what integrating the Shepherd veterinary software looks like for the owner. Basically, we need access to a sandbox or your instance to make sure that we can connect your modular agent. So we build a prototype, say, hey, I like the prototype. I want to have this voice agent answer calls after hours. Great. Start getting after hours post-call reports. Start to see how much business you're missing after hours. Great. You're starting to capture it now. Now we want to do an integration. So that's looking at API access into your Shepherd instance, and then obviously train the agent on all your services, appointment types, operating hours, staff roles, stuff like that. Generally, the process for a full implementation for just a prototype, I would say, or a modular agent that can do post-call reports, after-hours calls, stuff like that, probably 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks if you guys really wanted to dig into the friends and family testing part. But the full integration, I do not advise rush integrations. Like, you want to do a very, very stone by stone, inch by inch integration where you can test out and make sure everything is ironed out to a T before you deploy things live, because full integrations, they take time. You're literally building an employee from scratch digitally, so you don't want to try and do everything at once. I'm not going to go so much into budget because it really depends on the scope of your integration, the scope of your build. But I can tell you right now, you're not going to get a meaningful voice AI agent with any sort of reporting ability, or I mean, you could have one that has a really great conversation. You can have a voice agent with really great conversation skills and a dedicated phone number, a few $1,000 from a good team that has a meaningful intention to see the agent do well. One that's getting integrations, post call reports, stuff like that, you're starting to get into the 5-figure stuff, and even some more sophisticated bills can be up in the 6 figures. It really is like, it takes time to test. You have to have the technical know-how for the APIs, so that is a limited skill in these parts. So we want to make sure that we are road mapping and integration and planning the AI adoption process, and not rushing into anything where we can regret our spend because things weren't thought out so properly. So it is very important that we go step by step and have user acceptance at each level of the integration in order to see the maximum return on your investment into AI, as well as the maximum capability of your AI agent. Integrating payments and deposit with Shepherd, what owners need to know. Again, like, when it comes to payment stuff, really want to do tiptoe. This is like if you're late game integration, you're like, hey, Alex, like, we're really rocking right now. Can we do something about deposits? Then you have a lot of repeat customers, maybe groomers. This would be something you look at. Deposits really help because it minimizes or zeroes out no-shows. People don't want to lose money for a deposit. But generally, this is sort of a conversation we have with you once you have a fully fledged booking agent that's also doing cancellation follow up, and making sure that there's touch points post clinic visit to make sure they're nurtured for the next visit. Like this, that's really end game. What you don't have to worry about when you integrate: privacy, recordings, refunds and disputes. We just don't touch refunds and disputes with voice agents at all. Like, we literally train into your voice agent. If any discussion needs to be happening about a refund, forward it to the human staff. We don't want agents promising anything they can't keep. Privacy, everything is encrypted end to end. I mean, we're dealing with health care for animals, so there's really no laws saying you have to keep this healthcare information private. But again, we're using very, very sophisticated AI tools, and everything's encrypted with the maximum level technology you can get, or that is available today. So your Fido's health information is definitely safe with us. And how Peak Demand will integrate and manage everything for you. Like, we quite literally do everything for you. We'll help you think of ideas to sort of jostle your brain in the right direction towards a prototype. And then we'll show you what other teams have done for their use cases, and then sort of take the best of the best and try to build out your prototype modular agent in a way that's meaningful, that can do work, and then look at integrating everything over time, through additional testing, API calls, stuff like that. So we really do take the onus away from business owners. Like, you guys are already, and it's so funny because I'm a business owner, and I think to myself, out just like every single day you get more and more busy. You have more and more responsibilities over for your clients, making sure they're happy and their operations are running smoothly, but also like the increasing level of just need for SEO and visibility. Like every day I'm doing YouTube, I'm doing more content teams doing content, like everyone's going crazy to try and get visibility up in preparation for this new wave of users that's going to be on ChatGPT. So if you're a business owner and you're thinking to yourself, well, like this business owner who is literally all the way down the rabbit hole in technology is trying to put together content that would help me, and he's telling me he can, or his team can manage everything. I have teams managing everything that we don't have time for. So really, outsourcing your AI operation to a team that just knows what to do, so you don't have to spend like 2-3 years trying to figure it out. We've done all that for you. So that's generally what we advise. Our ideal customer is one that does not want to touch technology, can trust us to make sure that we're managing it properly, doesn't go into things and start tinkering and breaking things. Jesus, how many times that's happened. Guys, if you're working with an agency in AI, do not play with the integrations, do not play with the prompts. They really they were all tested for you to make sure things are working. So as a business owner, that's the type of there we go. Let's go. We got clients messaging me right now late, but this is the type of experience I want for all my clients, just to be able to just talk to us, as a team, talk to our AI agents to try and figure out what they need, and then we just do everything for them to make it really easy. Some questions and answers, just quick. How much integration costs? Again, it varies. I would say budget for at least 5 figures for an integration if you already have a voice agent. If you don't, you're looking at probably minimum for an integration. I don't want to say it's less than $15,000. Like let's get really serious. Like no one's going to spend time working with API endpoints unless they can get compensated meaningfully for it, because it does take a lot of time. Some of these API docs are like literally lacking information. And this is for any integration. Shepherd has a really comprehensive API knowledge base. I was like, whoa, like this is great. This is going to be super fun when we get to sandboxing. So we're having fun with that now. But don't expect integrations to be less than $10,000 for any AI at all, because if you're paying less than that, you're probably not getting the integration level that you need for it to be meaningful. Let me see what else is other deposits. How long can we launch on Shepherd? I would say if you already have a built agent, look at 4 to 8 weeks for a proper integration. But for some multi-location, if you have a very comprehensive service, live multiple vets on with different calendars, like it could take up to 3-4 months for a really good integration. So don't rush integrations. Do so meaningfully, deliberately. You'll be way better off than the people who try to get through them quickly. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to leave you with that. You can expect increased bookings, less time for staff on calls, reducing no-shows, after-hour revenue pickup. Like all of these things are contributing to smoother operations and more efficient business. And again, I really have to thank AI. Thank AI, the people who have been developing this technology for the last few years. It's completely changed the operation of our agency. Like we are hyper productive now. Like I'm borderline addicted to the results that we see when we're using AI. I think I am addicted because at night I'll make videos talking about AI, and I'll get started on our new content pieces on AI, put together a schedule for all the social media stuff. Like I am like neck deep in this stuff because I see how much results we get with AI, that my first thought is, okay, you got to share this with the people who really need it. Obviously, the people who are getting a lot of phone calls can't handle that much volume during their moments of peak demand. We really want to help them. But also those clinics, if maybe you're not getting a lot of phone calls yet, maybe you just started your business and you don't have visibility yet, we'll help you drive more traffic organically for the long term to your business with our AI-driven SEO programs, which absolutely bang. Like we've had amazing clients' success stories 1-2 months after the SEO program started. So with that being said, I will leave you with that. If you would like to book a discovery call with our team to see how we're doing all this, feel free to visit peakdemand.ca. You can call Sasha. She can book you right onto our calendar, schedule a discovery call. You might not get me on the first call, but you'll certainly get a service guardian, and then I'll probably jump into that call once you get closer to talking about prototypes. But I do I really do look forward to the landscape for voice AI agents across healthcare completely, but also broader industries, energy, hospitality, manufacturing. Like, we have use cases for all of these industries, and they all absolutely bang. I'm very much looking forward to the next few years when people start to adopt this stuff en masse, because it's hyper effective. That being said, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we're looking forward to the next one. Bye now.